Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another installment continuing our series on the Oklahoma City bombing. Today I have another article I'm going to be going over that I think I should share with everyone. This article was written on January 19th, 2002, quite some time ago, by John Doherty for WorldNet Daily. The article is entitled, "Was FBI Early Arrival in Oklahoma City? Hotel receipt shows top terror man showed up 9 hours before blast." Let's jump right into it. The FBI's top counterterrorism agent checked into an Oklahoma City hotel nearly 9 hours before a truck bomb nearly leveled the Alfred P. Murrah building, according to a receipt obtained by WorldNet Daily, despite claims that he was in Texas the morning of the attack. The Embassy Suites hotel receipt of Danny Coulson, I'll repeat that name, Danny Coulson, then director of the FBI's Terrorist Task Force and founding commander of the Bureau's hostage rescue team, was dated April 19th, 1995, with a check-in time of 0020 military time for 12:20 a.m. Editor's note here, his last name is spelled Coulson, S-E-N, on the receipt, but it indicates that he's with the FBI, located at 50 Penn Place, Suite 1600, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Now, his correct spelling of his name is C-O-U-L-S-O-N, Coulson. Continuing on, the truck bomb exploded at 9:03 a.m., devastating half the building and killing 168 men, women, and children. According to the receipt, Coulson checked out of his hotel, room 406, on April 27th at 11:16 a.m. The existence of the receipt and subsequent questions it raises surrounding the FBI's official denial of prior knowledge of the OKC bombing was first reported by J.D. Cash of the McCurtain Daily Gazette out of Oklahoma, a small-town paper that has been out in front of scores of OKC-related stories. Quote, "Since the bombing, officials at the Department of Justice have repeatedly assured victims that the FBI had no prior knowledge of any plot to bomb the Murrah Federal Building," the paper said Wednesday. However, evidence of Coulson's clandestine trip fits squarely with the substantial body of details found in hundreds of pages of other official documents obtained by the FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, by the paper. Evidence revealing weeks of planning by an elite corps of drug and counterterrorism experts who were closely monitoring members of various far-right groups they considered religious extremists and threats to the safety and security of the nation. WorldNet Daily reported on June 1st that Ricardo Rick J.W. Ojeda, or Rick Ojeda, a former FBI special agent involved in the original Oklahoma City bombing investigation, was given details of a relationship between convicted bomber Timothy McVeigh and members of a white supremacist group that may have helped McVeigh carry out the attack. McVeigh was put to death 10 days later. His accomplice, Terry Nichols, is facing state charges in Oklahoma for his role in the bombing after having been convicted in 1997 on federal charges. In his 1990 book, No Heroes, Inside the FBI's Secret Counterterror Force, authored with Time Magazine's Elaine Shannon, Danny Coulson said he was in Dallas the morning of the Murrah attack. He said he and his wife were house hunting and staying with friends. Here's an excerpt. "We were finishing up breakfast with some old friends in Fort Worth when we heard the first news bulletin, something about a big explosion in Oklahoma. My pager went off, displaying a number I knew by heart. 'It's the SIOC,' I said, the Strategic Information and Operations Center at the Hoover Building in Washington. John O'Neill, the headquarters official in charge of domestic terrorism investigations, answered. His voice was flat. 'I guess you heard a bomb went off in Oklahoma City at 9:02 a.m. Yes, it's all over the news. A lot of people have been killed and injured. We don't know what we have. Ricks needs help.' That would be Bob Ricks. 'Can you catch the next flight? "We're right in the middle of thunderstorms," I said. "Nobody in Texas is getting on a plane. I'll drive." That's the end of that excerpt. Now, John O'Neill, just a side note here to go off topic of Oklahoma City, John O'Neill was putting together a lot of pieces about terrorism and who was responsible for the USS Cole attack. And John O'Neill was one of the investigators. I think he was putting together some pieces about Mossad or Israeli involvement in this terrorism stuff. And surely enough, he was taken off the case at the time and took a new job, which began on the morning of September 11th, Tuesday, 2001. And he showed up the first day on the job as head of security, or something security related at the World Trade Center in New York City. So, they got rid of him. He's another character you should look into. Back on to the article here. But according to the Gazette's investigation, that is, of J.D. Cash and what he wrote, aided by the discovery of the hotel receipt, Colson was apparently already in Oklahoma City, tied to an FBI investigation that was part of a highly sensitive operation that few outside the criminal division of the FBI knew existed until long after it was disbanded. That operation, allegedly begun by then Attorney General Janet Reno in August of '94, was dubbed VAPCON, VAAPCON, assigned the number MC-111, Major Case 111, and was aimed at investigating the so-called religious right in America and possible ties to violent acts, the paper said. Cash said he was unclear what VAPCON meant, but he believes it has something to do with a Reno initiative to investigate violence against abortion providers. The paper also noted that Colson referred to MC-11 as his initial reason for going to Oklahoma City, using the case number in a May 16, 1995 report that he filed with the Bureau. Others have also tied McVeigh and Nichols to white supremacist groups. On June 7th, WorldNet Daily reported that Aryan Republican Army member reported that Indiana State University criminologist Mark Hamm, Hamm, in a book published last fall, named former Aryan Republican Army member Mark Thomas, originally of Pennsylvania, and other members of his group as alleged conspirators. Based on court records and other evidence, WorldNet Daily also reported similar connections on May 30th. Sorry, this article's got a video that auto-played. That's the music that you heard. Others, however, have said they believe McVeigh and Nichols were tied to Middle Eastern terrorists. Janet Davis, a former investigative reporter for the NBC affiliate in Oklahoma City, told Fox News Channel's Bill O'Reilly on May 14th that she had gathered massive evidence pointing to a conspiracy between McVeigh, Terry Nichols, and Osama bin Laden's terrorist organization. Davis said last year that she took her evidence, including hundreds of court records, 24 sworn witness affidavits, and reports from law enforcement, intelligence, and terror experts, to the FBI, which refused to accept the material or the leads. Some details may never be revealed. For example, travel records and vouchers for Danny Colson and fellow FBI agent Larry Potts, also assigned to investigate the Oklahoma City bombing, were listed as, quote, missing, according to documents examined by WorldNet Daily. One for Colson in the amount of $1,300.13 and $1,313.80 was dated the day of the explosion, 4/1995. After this many years, the National Archives regularly disposes of these kinds of records, FBI spokeswoman Barbara Miller told the Gazette. Colson cannot be contacted for comment. Well, there you have it. That's the end of the article. This is something I didn't know, that I didn't get from the other sources I had read. So kudos to WorldNet Daily and John Doherty for reporting this. Danny Colson, high-ranking member of the FBI, was in Oklahoma City, checked into a hotel at midnight the night before the bombing. The bombing happened at 9 a.m. Central Time, Oklahoma time. He checked in at midnight the night prior, 9 hours before. Interesting. So there you have it. Even more circumstantial evidence that they had prior knowledge that something was going to happen. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and stay tuned. I'm gonna report more articles as I find them. Until that time, next time, take care, guys. God bless.